everyone, happy Wednesday. I just wanted to do a real brief touch base and then kind of go over a couple things that is going to be upcoming as we turn our attention to a new learning module, but also finishing up this lesson 4. Thank you for those of you who have done the narrated video just check-in with your work that you're doing on your lesson. I very much appreciate that. In the upcoming lesson 5, I'll be putting a link in there for you to submit your newly redesigned lesson. And if you, I just want to remind people that the Hernandez Sheets text on page 155 gives you the template in which you should be developing your new lesson, and it shouldn't really look anything that unfamiliar to people, as all the components of a good lesson are in there. It just may be laid out a little bit differently. And I will be in lesson 5 providing a link for you to submit your newly revised lesson. Now, it's okay if you haven't at that point already taught it. I'm hoping that many of you are going to be able to do this within the month of March, but if not, you should be continually working on it. So I think it's in lesson 5 that you'll be submitting that newly revised lesson, and just as a pay close attention to the template on page 155. Let's see, thank you so much for the great feedback. I want to say to each of you for the 1-minute paper, I really take and value those perspectives that are given and things that could be tweaked, that need to be changed, or things that are going well. So I appreciate that feedback very well, so I wanted to say thank you for that. This particular lesson, as I indicated, is a little bit heavier. You've got a couple things going on in terms of looking at styles of communication within both the discussion board and then the Wordle activity, but also looking at the effects of poverty and socioeconomic status. And the important piece of that I want to just briefly touch on is early on, when the research started looking at what we refer to as the achievement gap, I think now we're talking about it in terms of opportunity gap, really looked at it as a race-based gap. So we were looking at different racial demographics of students. And it's important to remember, as I noted in our earlier class synchronous session, this is not a race-based pedagogy. And so now what's really happening is we're really looking at all the demographics that contribute to learning, academic achievement of students, and including in that is looking at socioeconomic status and poverty. And many of you have talked about teaching in settings that have a high population of impoverished students and how that impacts the student learning, but how that also forces you to rethink some of the things you may be asking students to do. So really good stuff here. There's a lot here, but it's all really important and relevant. And so I just wanted to provide this quick touch base. I'll be opening up lesson 5 early again for you this time, because we do recognize the week of spring break, the week of the 9th, I believe it is. I'm looking here at my calendar. The week of March 9th, so there won't be anything due, and I'll be having limited access to email during that week. So I want to make sure that you have ample amount of time to look at some of the upcoming things that are going to be due. So with that, I hope you have a great Wednesday, and again, thank you so much for your work, and I look forward to your continued progress as we move through the content. Thanks.